It was a unique friendship that we couldn't quite believe until we saw it with our own eyes. Molly the magpie mimicking his best mate Peggy's bark. With a story this original, it was destined for the small screen.
You've got a friend in me.
It's a great story. People want to see it. People want to watch it.
A friend and I were talking about the sensation that was happening in Queensland. He said, wouldn't it make a great TV show?
You just remember what your old past said. Or you got
I can't wait to see it on the big screen. I can't wait to see it, going around the world.
Peggy and Molly, an unlikely match with an unbreakable bond.
You got a friend in me.
No strangers to the spotlight, the furry and feathered friends found fame on social media. And now, their story is destined for the silver screen.
It's telling them, the real life story of how the relationship started.
Juliet and Reese have been caring for Molly alongside their dogs after rescuing him from a Gold Coast puppy park when he was just a chick. But feathers flew when the government stepped in and demanded Juliet and Reese surrender Molly.
I had to make the toughest decision of my life, and I handed a wild bird to be in captivity.
Making headlines around the world, the public outcry eventually leading to Molly's return under strict conditions.
Peggy and Ruby!
Including no ongoing profit from Molly or his real image. But months later, a surprise announcement on social media. Molly and Peggy are getting their own show.
Look, it was a story that was already written for us and it was just waiting to happen.
Zentric Studios' Ken Cantrill is the brains behind the new animated series.
It's going to be from an animalist perspective, finding Molly, right through to the government officials and what happened to them.
Production is expected to take around 18 months. Characters are already in development and the studio is asking the duo's fans for feedback.
We sort of start off with a little bit of AI work and then we move into characterisations and character sheets. Then we'll get our creative writers on board about expanding out the characteristics of those characters and the interactions of those characters.
I guess that first time that you saw Molly and Peggy but animated, what was that like?
Oh, it was like a kid in a candy shop. I'm like, what? Oh my God!
The announcement hasn't come without controversy though, with questions now being raised over whether Reese and Juliet stand to gain from the production.
Are you sure what you're doing isn't breaking those rules?
We've got an expert legal team and they've ensured us that we're in complete compliance. There are no real animals used in this animation, apart from any artistic expression.
Zentrix is already known for its work on other successful cartoons.
Well, the studio in a whole has worked on Lego, it's worked on Angry Birds, Justice League, they've done Monster High, Ridley Jones, Weeknights, which was nominated for an Emmy Award.
With big-name streaming services now looking to cut a deal, the question is, could Peggy and Molly surpass the Aussie blockbuster that is Bluey?
I think the engagement is already there. I think that the characters are there. I do hope that we can surpass them, yes.
As for who might voice Peggy and Molly, well, that remains to be seen and heard.
We're talking about a couple. We're talking about Hugh Jackman. I don't know about... I think Chris Hemsworth, I don't know whether he'd suit Molly or not.
Yeah, he's more visual.
Got to aim high, I say. Well, although we hear the show has a $10 million budget, we're not sure that that's going to cover Hugh or Chris. And we should point out, we didn't record any new footage with Molly for this story.